Today we're going to unpack and start up a MicroLinx metering pump. Your box will come with a bag of accessories. It includes the injector, foot valve weight, and tubing. Tubing color and size will vary based on the model number. We'll also include a quick start guide that has QR codes to each series manual that you can download off the web. Some of the most frequently used things to be aware of when you're installing are also included on the back side. Simply remove the packing material and remove your pump. This is the liquid end of the pump. This is the front end with the controls. When you're ready to start attaching your tubing, depending upon your model number, which is listed on the side of the unit, along again with a QR code to go to the manual on the web. Pumps will be supplied with different styles of tubing ranging in size from 1/4 inch to 3/8. So depending upon the style of tubing you get and the size of tubing, how the tubing connects varies. For 3/8 tubing, the valve has a nipple molded in. Your tubing needs to be cut off straight, tubing nut slipped up and over, and then the tubing slipped all the way over and flushed down to the bottom. If it's cut off at an angle or not all the way, it'll risk pulling loose. Simply put the nut back down and hand tighten. If it is a 1/4 inch tubing, there's an extra piece involved that we call the tubing ferrule. Like this. With this approach, the 1/4 inch tubing is slipped through the ferrule and have about a 1/4 inch sticking out the bottom. Slip your tubing over the top, insert the ferrule in, nut on, and again tighten down. The ferrule forms a compression on the tubing to keep it secure. Note as well with the 1/4 inch tubing fittings, there's 1/4 inch female inside the valve body if you want to use an off-the-shelf 1/4 inch fitting or go to hard piping. So you want to then install your pump on a flat surface, secure. You can set them on a drum, but they can risk getting knocked over and broken. We highly recommend mounting them. We sell a number of mounting options, including pump shells or just our brackets that can be mounted to the bottom of the pump in either format, so the pump is like this or like this, depending on how you mount the bracket. If you need to mount the pump directly to the wall, like this, you can do so, but you must remove the pump, rotate the head 90 degrees to keep the suction valve on the bottom and the discharge valve on the top. All right, so your foot valve, you get it installed. I personally like to use the clear flexible tubing so that it hangs in the drum easier. Always use your weight to help keep the foot valve. We want the foot valve in the drum up and down. We don't want to lay it on its side where the check balls can't do their job. We want it up and down so the check balls can do their job. The tubing connects the same way that we've shown earlier. Remove your nut, slip the nut over the tubing, and then slide it on. And tighten, hand tighten. You don't need to use a wrench because you can damage the molded plastic by using wrenches, but a good hand tightening should do the job quite well. Once you have your suction and your discharge line connected and your injector installed into a T, we sell a number of different injection accessories for quick release T's. Make note of the nozzle on the injector threads off. So depending upon the size of pipe you're going into, you may need this removed. You may want to buy yourself a 1/4 inch nipple that's longer to inject deeper into the pipe, depending upon the pipe size. But once everything is connected, installed, you turn on your pump, Run your speed up to 100%. Again, the output of the pump on this Series M pump, you can go simply 0 to 100% of its max output. I like to set it at 100% for priming. Open the priming valve. This is our standard priming valve. You just open it 2 or 3 turns and it will start bypassing the product back to the drum. It's recommended that you also use the supplied clear flexible tubing, slip it up on the barb fitting, and run this back into the drum as well. So as you prime, product is going back into the drum. Once you're primed, shut your valve, and now you will be discharging to the system. Depending upon your model number, your pump may be supplied with our standard priming valve or the optional degassing valve. The degassing valve actually has a check ball inside for helping to auto vent trapped gases in the head. The standard priming valve is just meant to open, prime, and then close off, and it remains closed. The degassing valve, you can open it a little bit for fast prime, but we want to leave it totally threaded down, and it will auto pass a little bit of output and any trapped gas back to the drum. Your tube must be ran back into the drum to catch that bypassed amount.